What's up, guys? So I'm back at you again with another one of those exclusive 7 days to die videos. And in this video, we had actually discovered how to duplicate things via mini bike. We discovered this completely by accident. So first thing, mini bike gets stuck in the spikes, whether it's the little spikes or the big spikes, whichever ones you use, it doesn't really matter. And it's kind of hard to get out. So if you got your basket filled with items and you actually ride it into the spikes on purpose, which sounds crazy, because it is, but you ride it into your spikes on purpose, the bike is going to get stuck and you would have to break down the spikes to get it out and blah blah blah. Sometimes it freezes and it gets stuck permanently, because this is actually how we begin to figure this out, because Caesar, GhostBoy, had got it stuck and we couldn't get it out, we couldn't break it, nothing like that. And we did everything like but it was duplicating stuff. Like, he was taking stuff out of the basket and it was still there. And then he was taking pots off the bike and it was still there. It was freaking crazy. So we decided to do some experiments. And, well, actually, what happened was I was a jackass and I kind of rode my bike into some other spikes on accident. And so that's when we decided to do some experiments. So here we are doing some experiments with the bikes, and we dug a hole just 1 block deep and put some spikes in it. And then here goes Ghost Boy. He's gonna go ahead and drive the bike into the spikes, and his basket is full of items that we're trying to see if they will duplicate. So there he goes, and he's in. You gotta jump out real quick and get that med pack so he doesn't die. So there you go. He's gonna look in there now in the basket, and he's gonna start pulling stuff out. As he's pulling stuff out, the items are going into his inventory, but they're also remaining in the basket. So it's freaking nuts. Now sometimes it glitches and it does this little like flickering thing, but you can still do it, and he does it a lot better than me. See, this is me doing it right here, and when I'm doing it, it kind of like does this little flickering thing like that, and then I couldn't really duplicate like right away, but then I was trying to do it quicker. I was trying to time it just perfect. You gotta time it just right. It's all in the timing, is what Ghost said. So I wasn't timing it just right all the time, but I got it a few times. And do you see that? It's duplicating, like right now, the meat. It's duplicating the meat. It's duplicating the bear. It's gonna duplicate the water, and so it'll duplicate anything. We've tried all kind of different things in there, and it duplicated everything. This is dirt. Well, it didn't duplicate the dirt, but here goes the crossbows. Was duplicating the what's that? The blunderbuss ammo. I was having a little issue with that one, but in the end, I ended up being able to duplicate that. But see, you can go back and forth, and it just keeps, like, if they're, as long as they're still in the basket, it'll just keep duplicating, and it's just crazy. I don't know how these kind of little glitches get done, because I'm not nowhere near a software tech. I don't know what goes up on into those little bits and pieces and what have you, but I think it's pretty damn cool that we figured it out. So we had took everything, put it in the chest, and was trying to get more room so we could take the bike apart. Because once you've done it like this, it actually becomes pretty difficult to take the bike apart. You cannot have anything touching the bike, because once you try to take the bike apart, it's going to start duplicating the bike parts, as we see here. Well, I'm trying to take the remaining of the stuff out in this part, and once I get the remaining stuff out, I'm going to try to take like the basket and all that stuff out, but it's still going to be there. So just watch. So you see, now it goes, I take the basket off, but then you see the basket's still there. And I'll do it again with the engine, and the engine's still there. You could see a little smidgen of it, not a whole lot, but the engine's still there. And see, the engine's still there. There goes the bike seat. Now the bike seat, came off easy, and it seems that when the components of the bike have diminished all their health, they come off a lot easier than having to do that. But it's kind of crazy. So you can't have it touching anything at all, like a piece of dirt or whatever. And it's very, very nitpicky about that. So Caesar and me taking the spikes off, trying to get rid of everything, and it was a rough ride getting that bike taken apart. So I'm not gonna bore you with all the details, but as we see, we're Caesar right there, he's trying to take the bikes off. You can't really see it in my video clip because it's in his inventory screen that it's going on. And then I go, I think I go down in a minute to go try to take it apart, and we discover that it's still not coming all the way apart. Also, pay attention to the battery. The battery is completely empty. It's a negative health. Now, it was almost full health when we started, um, when we drove it into the spikes. And it seems like every time you drive the bike into the spikes, it completely wipes out the entire battery. So be aware of that. You want to have a couple of batteries if you're going to do this, or whatever. You don't want to waste your battery. So here we are. We had to sit here and take the dirt from around the entire bike. It was being picky, and there was one part, just one part touching somewhere, and we couldn't figure out where it was. It's just sitting there floating in the air, touching something, driving us nuts till we finally figured it out. And it was just one little piece of dirt that it was touching. So we was beating on it and everything. You could beat that bike to death, by the way. It's not gonna tear up until you get everything away from it. So then we tried it a different way. We wanted to see what else we could do. So we put some more spikes down, built another bike, and put some more stuff in the bike, of course. Different items this time. Some the same, but some different. Just to see what kind of items it would duplicate as well. And then here goes Ghost, aka Caesar. He's gonna jump on the bike, and he's gonna be the brave soul to ride the bike up into the spikes. And there he goes. Look at me now. Look at me now. Fresher than a mug. So he backed out of the spikes this time. And we're going to try to see what happens when you back it out of the spikes, staying in the spikes. And it's still duplicated. Actually, it did better. The duplication did so much better. I didn't even have any glitches that time where it was like flickering or anything like that. So that was actually pretty cool. So that did work out a little bit. You got to get it just right where it's still in the spikes, but not all the way in the spikes. And then we were able to take the bike apart with no issues, even with it touching the spikes. So again, it's just a little picky with the way you do it, but it's still pretty dang cool, I say, because I think I looked on Google to try to see if we could find this anywhere. I couldn't find it anywhere about the bike glitch, and again, we found it completely by accident. We wasn't even looking for duplication glitches or anything like that. I know there's some out there. I went and looked it up last night just to see what kind of duplication glitches were out there and stuff like that, because everybody's I can duplicate. Well, I know about duplication glitches on Minecraft, but 7 Days to Die, I didn't know about any duplication glitches, and I'm not a duplicator. I really don't care about duplicating and stuff like that. I love the survival technique, the experience of going and finding things and crafting things and what have you. So anyway, I did see one duplication glitch. It was about a forge. You had to have everything, all your inventory taken up of one space, but supposedly they fixed that glitch or whatever. So and we did try it after we did this, and it's not working. It was horrible. And so I don't know, they patched it or whatever is going on with that, but we couldn't figure out how to do it. So this accident turned out to be pretty cool, It's not one that we're going to be using a whole lot. Actually, I'm not going to be using it at all. Just for the video. And I wanted to test it out too, to see if you had to have a lot of spikes or little spikes. I was testing up like a whole bunch of different things so we could just try to get some kind of trial and error thing going on. So I wrote it into this little bit of spikes, and it's just sitting up on top of the spikes, propped up there. And then of course I had to take the med pack because you don't want to friggin' die. You're gonna bleed out. So went back over there, checked the mini bike, and look what happens. No glitch, no duplication, none at all, none whatsoever. It was crazy, and I was able to take the bike apart with ease. So that's just to show how kind of picky it is, guys. But anyway, we're gonna test some more things out. Maybe we'll come back and bring another video or whatever when we get this figured out completely. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and try it out yourself just for fun or whatever. Or if you just want to duplicate and don't want to be in creative mode, that's cool. Alright, see you later. Don't forget to like and subscribe, Leah Marie, and follow me on Twitch, and follow GhostBoy GB on YouTube. Thank you. Bye.